Hi, this is Sean with Clear Technologies, and with a joint partnership of the ITSO, I'm about to perform a demonstration of a dynamic node priority failover in a PowerHA. Now, first, the dynamic node priority feature has actually been around for several years. However, in the latest version of PowerHA, a new option was added of what we call adaptive failover. This allows the user to provide a script to help determine the destination node in the event of a failover. Now, first of all, the most important thing to know is that dynamic node priority only applies in a 3 or more node cluster. So 2 node clusters, you cannot use dynamic node priority, nor is there any benefit in trying to do so. So the two new options in version 7.1 is based off the return code of a user-provided script, and you can see at the bottom of this slide that the options are lowest and highest. Those should be pretty self-explanatory based on if it's the lowest return code of the script executed or the highest return code, who is the most appropriate candidate node to fail over to. Here is an overview of our environment. We have latest and greatest at the time of the recording, PowerHA 713 SP1, same thing for the AIX levels. I have a dynamic node priority resource group set up. I am using the lowest return code option. I've provided a script to run to determine the dynamic node priority, and I'll show the contents of that script in just a second. And this timeout value is just that, how long to wait for that script to time out. Now, in my environment, I don't have a real application, but I have a service IP address and an application controller script, also what we call application server. So here on this last slide is the contents of my dynamic node priority shell script. Now, as we saw in the previous slide, I had a 3-node cluster, and I had Jessica listed first, Cassidy listed second, and Shanley listed third. Now, in most resource groups, the listing of the order in the resource group determines priority. So in most cases, if node Jessica fails, it would fail over to Cassidy if it was up because it's the next one listed in the resource group. Well, now we're using dynamic node priority. So I have set this script up to make Cassidy have a higher return code of 5 than Shanley. So at the time of failover, the event scripts will actually execute the dynamic node priority script we provide and make a determination based on our choice of lowest of who to fail over to, which is going to be Shanley. So now I'm going to switch over. Now this is a recording of a screen session that I did previously. I just had no audio to go with it, so I was going to play and record this again. So you can see here I've got my DNP cluster. It's stabilized on Jessica. The resource group is on Jessica. And what I'm doing on Jessica now is just re-emphasizing what I just showed about what are the contents of my DNP SH script. So we can see that Cassidy's 5, Shanley is 3, Shanley's the lowest, so Shanley should take over even though both nodes are online. So now I've halted Jessica just by reboot. And on Cassidy, I'm just going to tail the log just to notice the events processing. You can see I've got the QHA cluster status running at the bottom. So you can see that it's already made the determination of moving to Shanley. Now that's very quick because the DNP script executes very quickly as well. So Shanley is already acquiring. Now once this is acquired, as it is now, we can see that it's stabilized. We can actually view the contents of the cluster manager.debug and see that the DNP SH script was executed. I can also scroll down a little bit and look for the return codes processed from each node. So I got a 5 locally on Cassidy, and if I scroll down here, I can see I got a 3 and a 5. So node 2 was Shanley, node 3 was Cassidy. And then if I go down further, I can actually look and say, hey, look, we finished voting, and node 2, which coincides with Shanley, is the preferred failover candidate node. So with that, I'm going to conclude this demonstration. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at sbodley@cleartechnologies.net. And now, as always, thank you very much for watching.